And for this final demonstration in this sequence, we're going to show how the Boilex One stove can be used with liquid fuels. Now, in order to be able to do that, we need to again make some changes to the configuration of the stove. And to do that, we have a special insert for holding a can of kerosene or alcohol, could be diesel. And as before, we place the insert into position and it just drops in and sits there. We then add our can. This is a standard 250 ml can containing kerosene, but in there we have 150 grams, and that's because the density of kerosene is quite low. So there is 150 grams in there, and we have a wick, a glass fiber wick. This sits in the insert, and the insert has a raised base, so the can will nest exactly in the middle. We then add, as before, our flame focusing collar. We put back the pan holder into position, and we now light this. So using a standard lighter, any lighter producing a flame will work. So we light the wick, and you should note, before we go too much further, that kerosene burns with a very sooty, dirty flame. Now the moment we turn on the air supply, things improve, but it's still not good enough. It's not until we dial this up to maximum that we now have a truly cleaned up flame. So we now need to add, as before, 5 litres of water at 20 degrees. And as before, we will monitor the time it takes for this to rise from 20 degrees up to boiling point. Approaching first 5 minutes, and we are at 41 degrees. So at 10 minutes we are at 65 degrees. So at 15 minutes we are hitting 85.5 degrees. So we are just coming up to boil. In fact, we've hit boil in 19 minutes and 22 seconds. So I'm now going to remove the pan, flame out, so that we can work out just how much fuel we have used to reach boil, just how much kerosene. So turn the fan off, put the snuffer in position. The flame is now out, and we will now weigh this to determine how much fuel we used to hit boil. So the weight check shows that we had 35 grams of material left in the can, which means that 115 grams were used during this to bring 5 litres of water to the boil.